Well, good morning and welcome to our devotion time. It is great to be with you today. We continue our story of Abram. We left off last time talking about the first recorded war in the Bible, maybe in history, and we're going to continue looking at this event as God moves Abram to this place of grabbing hold of the promises He's made for him. So the armies of the four kings of the Eastern Empire that we talked about crushed the defenders of the five cities on the plains of Sidon. And Abram really wasn't even aware of what was going on with his neighbors at the time that this happened. And we discover that 12 years after this battle, that this decisive battle for the plains, this rearranging of the factions and the powers and the economy of the area, that life was able to carry on by the Canaanites continued to just live as they normally lived. They just had to pay tribute to the Eastern Empire after that. But eventually, the five kings of Canaan, they began to chafe under their conquerors, and they regathered their strength and rebelled again against the Eastern Empire, and they just didn't want to pay tribute. And Scriptures tells us what happened this way. For 12 years, they had been subject to Kedorlaomer, but in the 13th year, they rebelled. In the 14th year, Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him went out and defeated Rephaites in Asheroth, Karnaim, the Zuzites in Ham, the Emites in Shaveh, Kirathaim, and the Horites in the hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran near the desert. Then they turned back and went to En Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and they conquered the whole territory of the Amalekites, as well as the Amorites, who were living in Hazazon Tamar. And then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Amdah, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor, marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Sidon against Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goim, Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5, and that's Genesis 14, verses 4 through 9 there. This time, the Babylonian faction under Kedorlaomer conquered virtually all of Canaan. And when the armies of the kings of Canaan went out to stop the incursion this time, the defeat was even worse. Scripture tells us this time this powerful army of the Eastern Empire carried away as spoils for war a vast fortune, virtually all the wealth of the Canaan. And so the Scriptures tells us in 14:11, the victors seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the food, and they departed. And oh, by the way, not only did they take all the wealth while they were the armies of the Babylonian faction won such great victory, they ended up carrying away captives as well. And they carried away a man named Lot and his family. And that meant, as we see in Scriptures, or will continue in Scriptures, that Abram was to get involved with this, whether he liked it or not. Now he was a part of this conflict that was going on politically and nationally within the land he was living in. And what happens next is a thing of legend, so to speak. And we'll talk about that next week next Friday as we gather together. I pray that you'll have a great day today, a great week, that God's peace will abide with you, that He'll give you many opportunities to share His love, His grace with those we meet. Well, you have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye now.